I've been working for the last 18 years. I'm planning on going on a vacation, but I am a month away from getting a repo.
Quick question to all my traveling people out there. What do y'all use to like buy now, pay later for your flights?
45% of families are going into debt to go to Disney.
So we're getting pretty close to that time of the year. Memorial Day weekend's coming up soon. Summer is right around the corner, and you know what that means. More people are going to get into debt because of a vacation. Whether they're doing it to keep up with the Joneses or the online influencers that we see every day that just look like they're on a vacation 24/7, or just to get away from all of the stress, which is primarily financially related. I always find it funny that the solution to being stressed about debt is to go travel somewhere else in the world and get yourself into even more debt. But we have a lot of examples to go over today, along with some of your comments from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave it in the comments down below. But let's just get right into it.
Guys, I thought this topic needed some discussion because basically Gen Zs and millennials are now using debt to fund their travels. And as a travel creator myself, I always advocate for getting out there and exploring the world, but I don't mean using debt to finance it. But in this article, it says that 42% of Gen Zs and 47% of millennials are using debt to pay for their summer travels, and summer travels by this generation is actually substantially high. This actually shows the most popular methods of using debt to finance, so this includes credit cards being paid over multiple months, buy now pay later services, borrowing from family and friends, and even personal loans. So again, if you're someone who participates in these methods, I'm not judging or anything like that. I'm just genuinely wanting to know what your thought process is. Like, you travel now, but then how are you going to pay off the debt later? Are you just, taking up extra side gigs, things like that?
I know part of the reason why she's saying the things she is because she most likely makes her money off of being a travel influencer. So she's saying, I'm not going to judge, maybe you guys are getting side hustles or extra jobs to pay for it. But I think we know by now people are just swiping credit cards and not thinking about the future at all. Everything has to happen immediately. All the stuff that I see online, I want to replicate it, even though a good amount of that content is fabricated in the end. But it doesn't matter. I want to live that luxury lifestyle even though I'm in crippling debt, and I have this plastic credit card with a ridiculously high limit that'll allow me to do so, at least for a short amount of time. And we can look at the comments on this video and see how some people fall into this debt trap. I mean, it's 0 APR for a year. I'll pay it back, which many loan companies will do all the time to try to entice people to buy things they probably can't afford. There's no interest for a whole year. You'd be able to pay it off. You'll be fine. Then that year rolls by and your loan is not paid off, so that interest comes into play and starts adding on to your debt and makes the whole situation way worse. But we can read the rest of the comment. Needed the vacation. My life is hellish right now and can't hustle or invest my way to money to travel. So this was the solution. Plus, credit scores are mostly an American thing. So this is somebody overseas doing the same thing. Life hack. Travel on credit card debt that also earns points and then travel again on those points. As ridiculous as that sounds, we've seen people try to justify using their credit cards because maybe they get 5% back on all their purchases. And somehow that negates the other 95% of the cost of whatever product you got. But some people don't want to hear it. They will argue and argue nonstop. It's like talking to a brick wall. We have a comment from one of you guys. I get letters from our mortgage company once a month trying to sell us to get a HELOC. One came in the mail the other day. They were trying to convince me that 7.5% plus prime was a good deal for home renovations, a vacation, or whatever we wanted. And this is not the first time we've talked about this. Other comments from you guys saying that family members did this exact same thing, taking out HELOCs, making it look like they were going to do renovations for their house, and then they took the whole family on a long cruise, or they went to the other side of the globe for a long vacation. Just insane to me. I mean, we have a perfect example right here.
I just made another loan to cover a credit card so we could go on our trip.
Oh my. Okay.
And I didn't tell him.
What do you mean? Wait, why doesn't he get to know that? Why are we doing that without his knowledge?
Oh.
He thought you were pulling from an emergency fund. Not that that's even better, but actually, no, you said the trip was pre-planned.
I was going to tell him.
But you didn't, so I don't give a you didn't.
Well, no, I didn't tell him.
Huh?
I didn't tell him.
Why?
Because, I was going to.
But you didn't.
I just didn't want him to stress about our trip.
You took out a loan. What kind of loan?
Uplit?
Okay.
No, Upstart was the loan I took for the card. Upstart, yeah. I took that out to pay off a credit card that was maxed out so that we could have spending on the card.
Oh my.
She barely even knows what loan she took out, on top of not telling her partner about it. I've said it a million times on this video, not being on the same financial page as your significant other in life can ruin the both of you, will most likely end in divorce as well, honestly. But taking out a loan to pay off the maxed out credit card so they could buy even more crap when they're on vacation when they shouldn't be in the first place. This is a very notorious episode on the financial audit. I think a lot of people know this was an entire mess of a situation because of the comments. Divorces are expensive because they are worth it. Honestly, these will be great if he needs the evidence for their divorce. Many comments like this. But as ridiculous this sounds to most of the people watching this video, there are still tons of people who don't take it seriously.
Should I move here?
Why be 180K in debt at home when I could be 181K in debt in Hawaii?
Nothing is more frustrating than when you're financially fighting for your life and your friend goes, should we go to Disneyland next week? Like, show you another one?
Of course, we could look at the comments and it just gets worse. Mobile orders make it feel free too. I can't imagine how much food and merchandise is at Disneyland, let alone just getting into the park or traveling there. Having a pass makes it feel like you're actually only paying $35 to go in. Honestly, I spent more money when I was in debt because it's like, what is even the difference? These will be the same people who will turn around and complain about the high cost of living on TikTok, which overall, they're not wrong. Cost of living right now is very difficult, but you spending thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on vacations probably made your situation a little bit worse. I do think the comment under it is pretty funny. It's just money. There's plenty out there for the making. Well, tell everybody who is drowning in student debt with the terrible job market, or the people living paycheck to paycheck not going on vacation because of the high cost of living. But to make it even better, the reply is some sort of bot trying to shill somebody's financial courses. I mean, gotta love the scams on TikTok just being riddled throughout the comments. We have another comment from you guys. I take long vacations once a year, but I put aside a little each month for it. Taking debt out for a holiday is just plain lunacy. And I could talk about it every time this topic comes up till I'm blue in the face. If you have money to go on a vacation, I think that's completely fine. Whether you're saving a little bit each month to be able to go on a yearly trip, or you're just unbelievably wealthy. I'm not saying that vacations as a whole are a complete waste of time and you're supposed to save every penny until you're 70 years old, blah, blah, blah. If you have that kind of money, go on a vacation every month, every week, I don't care. But seeing some of the insane financial decisions some people make when they basically have no money to start with is only going to make your situation worse. And more people are starting to see that online and get tired of it.
I've been working for the last 18 years. I'm planning on going on a vacation, but I am a month away from getting a repo. The only vacation you should be planning is vacation your ass to work, right? Because there's no way that you're planning on a vacation and you are behind in your bills. How does that make financial sense? Why are we wasting more money when we don't have money? Like, this is the stuff that I don't get what people doing. People get so offended. Like, I don't get it.
And people do get angry when they get backlash talking about it on TikTok. But at the same time, you didn't have to post yourself going to Disneyland for the 6th time in a row when right before it, you were complaining about not getting paid enough at your job, or your car is about to get repoed. In the end, I guess it's just for that possibility of a clip going viral and getting all that dopamine from the likes and comments and engagement. It really is just a crazy world that we live in now.
We're in a really bad financial position.
In total, how many vacations do you take a year?
3.
Okay, round up.
Last year we took about 10.
It's my math, exactly. I say take whatever it is and triple it. However much you say you eat out, triple it. However much you say you take vacation, triple it. It never fails. Everybody make a note. Ramit's rule number 318, vacations. Whatever you say you spend, triple it. How do you pay for all this stuff when you go to the Bahamas?
Well, the flight, I usually use miles. And then the hotel, I'll get like through my job, they have like discounts. I'll pay that on the debit card. But when we get there, it's like a free for all. Like I'll just use a credit card. And we have a lot of credit card debt.
Yep. Banks and credit cards love you too.
I've also seen that's part of the justification to be able to take a trip. Maybe you can get a cheaper flight because you have miles from your credit cards that are also maxed out, or your job could get discounts for the hotel. But as she said, as soon as they land, it's a free fall. They're going to buy whatever they want. And this couple was $600,000 in debt, by the way. I mean, I think it's cool to be able to travel around, but I feel like even if I had unbelievable amounts of money, 10 vacations a year, I don't know. I feel like I would be exhausted at the end of of the day. I just like being home a little bit more than other people. But we have another comment from one of you guys. I saved to bring my family on a spring break cruise. I went online and asked my credit card to up my limit, which they did, then paid for the cruise airfare, everything basically, which ended up being $8,000 for that trip, but they paid it off immediately. And because of that, they got $420 cash back and got free groceries for that month. So I'm not trying to advocate that you're not allowed to use credit cards at all. It's only cash and only debit cards. If you know what you're doing, you're just leaving free money on the table. But people will take that comment too far and they don't have the money to back it up when the credit card bill comes at the end of the month. So that extra $400 in possible cash back will disappear when the interest rate is 20 or 30%. So again, I'm not trying to be the grumpy old man saying that nobody's ever allowed to go on vacation. I'm completely fine when you could pay for it, especially when you get extra money back if you use your credit cards wisely. But some people don't have that restraint, so much so that almost everything has to go on a payment plan.
Quick question to all my traveling people out there. What do y'all use to like buy now, pay later for your flights? Like I know they have Afterpay, Klarna, all that good stuff. I don't have those anymore because unfortunately they didn't work out for me. But I'm trying to find like new apps that I can use just for specifically for that. Like just for paying for flights, travel, hotels and stuff. Mainly just flights, honestly. I could probably do the hotels and stuff like separately, but if y'all have like suggestions or if y'all have apps that y'all have used before that have let you just like put a deposit down on the flight and secure the flight ticket and just make payments on it later, let me know in the comments because I'm really looking for something that I can do that with. My credit ain't all that. It's a work in progress. But yeah, if y'all have something that they don't really care about credit, they'll give you a decent little limit, let me know, please, because I've been looking for something and I haven't found anything. I have heard of 4. I don't understand how it works. I don't get it all. And that's mainly shopping. I'm not worried about shopping. I'm trying to get flights, payment plans for flights. So y'all have apps that y'all can use payment plans or make payment plans for flights, let me know because I'm trying to take a flight. Or a couple flights, actually.
So this person actually got banned off of the big name buy now, pay laters, and I wonder why. Seems to me like she ran up all that credit and got frozen out by those companies. Her credit score is also in the dumpster, and now she's trying to find other apps just to be able to get a flight, or a couple flights, apparently. This is one of the exact examples of why I don't like buy now, pay later. I'll just pay it later down the road. I just really need that flight secured right now, and then it never ends up getting paid, and your financial future is just destroyed. So much so that you have to make a TikTok video pleading for people to tell you some odd obscure app that most people don't know about so you can get another BNPL loan. Top comment says you don't need to be traveling, and then the creator responds, I'm gonna be on that flight, debt or not. Air affordable, no credit check is another comment, so I guess there are companies like this. I can't imagine what the interest rates will be if they're just giving out loans to anybody, no credit checks. And apparently the people who got banned on Klarna and Afterpay and all of those, if Afterpay and Klarna didn't work out for you, then you don't need to worry about those other buy now, pay later apps. Then another person with a whole bunch of other BNPLs I've never heard of other than PayPal, if they didn't work out, you don't need to be using them. I didn't abuse them for travel, oh, so it's completely fine. It was petty stuff like Amazon purchases, and it was years ago. So what does that mean? All of my overconsumption videos is exactly what she did, and this $100 item on Amazon is only $25 in installment payments, and the rest of it is just never paid off. I do like that there are a good amount of comments calling this out. Not trying to be funny, but it sounds like you don't need to be using anything like that right now. Focus on getting your credit and finances together so you could travel freely. Make a payment plan with yourself. But the way that she was talking in the video and putting it out to the public for anybody in the world to see, it doesn't look like she's going to be changing her mind anytime soon. We have another comment from one of you guys. People are spending thousands just to get away for a week or two. Then they're stuck paying it off for months, sometimes even years. It's not worth it in my opinion. That's what I said earlier in the video. I feel like if I was in debt and I took a cruise or I went somewhere around the world the entire time I was supposed to be on vacation, I would just be stressing out because I dug myself an even bigger of a hole.
You two go on trips a lot?
We did Vegas last year for my birthday. Yeah, went to Georgia a few times. We're going on a trip
doesn't
this
make
month.
sense. She works with what?
Yeah.
No, you're not. To where?
DC.
No, you're going with your friend? Listen, I don't know who you are. I don't know your finances. That's not what this conversation was about. Usually I tell them that they need to say this to their friend, but since you're sitting right over there, she can't afford it. She can't go. She can't. What's been paid so far?
I just paid the B&B. It's coming out of my checking tomorrow. The rest of it.
The rest of it? What do you mean the rest of it?
They had like pay a deposit and then you pay the rest tomorrow.
Okay, you might lose your deposit. She can't go. She literally has no money in her checking account, and she has not made a single payment. She's behind on her last Airbnb, and she's trying to get an Airbnb now. She can't go. This is just being an adult for the first time ever.
You're still behind on the last Airbnb payment, let alone the rest of the cost for the whole trip, and she put a deposit down for the next Airbnb. It's just unbelievable. I could probably make an entire video just with Caleb's guest talking about the exact same thing. It's almost like every one of them still go on vacations constantly. And to add on to it even more with the Airbnb and the flight, you know, whatever traveling and wherever they're going, that's not the only cost at the end of the day. Tons of people want to get new outfits for the trip. Maybe they want to get their hair done, their hair cut, random accessories they need even before they take the flight.
Maturing is realizing that when you book a trip, you're not just budgeting for like the flight, the hotel, what you're going to do while you're there. No. You have to budget for the pre-Sephora haul, all the little knickknack things that you need on Amazon, your Monday through Friday outfits, because obviously you want to look cute and feel your best while you're there. You're on vacation. You get good content. You get your nails done beforehand, all these separate line items. And usually those end up being more than the flight itself. So that's cool.
$120 Spirit flight with a $400 hair appointment. Also having enough money after you return back to real life. Yeah, I don't think too many people actually think of that. You technically make money because you don't buy groceries for the duration of the time you're away. You're just ordering fast food or going to restaurants for that week, but yeah, I bet that'll be cheaper. And we've kind of just passed it now. I wouldn't doubt we'd see a new wave of this for Memorial Day weekend, but the spring break hauls is another trend on TikTok, just showing you a massive amount of clothing they're buying. And if you watch this video and engage with it, you'll just get flooded on your For You page all the time. Another comment from one of you guys, but I need that vacation to find myself. That's one of the excuses all the time. They'll just take a flight randomly to Europe or the other side of the world to really know who they are, to find themselves. And most of the time, nothing really changes. I mean, another one of the excuses is that these memories will last forever. Who cares about the debt? But if you live by that kind of mindset, your debt will probably be forever. And speaking of that, one of the best examples, of course, we could talk about is Disney.
Listen, I love Disney and Disney World as much as the next person. Some of you don't like that I like it, but I do. But this survey came out, you guys, 45% of families are going into debt to go to Disney. Now listen, here's the thing. It is not a rite of passage into humanity to go to Disney World. But as parents, that's what we kind of tend to believe. It's like Disney World is like this thing you have to do. Now, is it great and is it fun? Absolutely. But save up and pay cash. Do not go financially backwards to go to Disney World, okay? It is not worth the stress. It is not worth the lack of sleep that you're going to have to be thinking about this bill that you'll be paying for months and months and months. Instead, be proactive. Save if you want to go. That's great. Just have a plan and say, hey, we're going to save up X amount per month in order to do this trip. But with vacations, regardless, you guys, the best ones are the ones that don't follow you home in the form of a bill. So save up and pay cash and enjoy Mickey that way. It may take you a little longer, but that's okay.
And there you go, the last statement right there. It'll take you a little bit longer, and that's what people don't want. Basically, all she said in this video was to save up every month, little by little, until you have enough money. And it's crazy to me that you even have to tell people that, but I guess you do in this day and age. Who needs financial stability when you could have a Mickey-shaped ice cream? I've done this, but never again. If we can't pay cash, we won't go. And like she said earlier in the video, I know specifically parents really get pressured to bring their children to Disney. I never went as a kid, and I don't hate my parents because of it. I bet it would be fun, and maybe one day I will go to Disney. But I'll promise you, I will not be one of the almost 50% of parents that go into debt just to go to Disneyland. We have another comment from one of you guys. Try telling MasterCard that you can't afford taking minimum payments, but the experiences were priceless. That's what I was talking about earlier with some people's arguments, is that the experiences last forever, and so will MasterCard, constantly hounding you and upping your bill every single month for the rest of your life. Now we also have a very interesting story with fraud going to Disney.
You went to Disney World and now you came back and now you're reporting all your transactions as fraudulent. Y'all said that y'all wanted the story time, so here we go. So Minnie went ahead and made all the confirmations and reservations and put down her deposits over a year ago. She went to Disney 2 weeks before she reported all of her transactions being fraudulent. Swipe, she did what she was going to do. She enjoyed Disney World. Then she comes back. The first time that she reports the transactions as being fraudulent were only the food transactions. So she went to Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop. She went to Cinderella's Castle. All of these places you have to make reservations for. So we were provided with the reservation information. She had Dippin' Dots transactions. She had all of the foods from Magic Kingdom, from Epcot. There were transactions from every single park. Now, from another claim that she filed, that it was 8 people that went. So the first fraud that she was saying happened was just all of the food transactions. That totaled up to be, I think, $4,980 something dollars. So almost $5,000.
So just with the first part of this story, you knew that this was intentional. Somebody thought that they were going to outsmart Disney and I guess the credit cards as well. With how expensive it is, she's going to take apparently 8 people, pay for absolutely everything, and just say that they were fraudulent. It wasn't really her. There are immediately problems for her when there are reservations for these food places. They'll have your name. They're going to have cameras everywhere. But the other part of it, just the food, was almost $5,000. Are you kidding me?
So now you're back and you're sitting here seeing how much you spent over for the entire Disney stay. Hotel, reservations, food, all of the attractions, spent over $13,000 at Disney. And now you're sitting here wanting to get all your money back because you either, one, didn't know how much you were going to spend, or you just thought it was going to be easy for you to get your money back. But it wasn't. So reached out to Disney, and Disney's like, no, we have every single confirmation, every single thing that she purchased. And she went ahead and she signed for it. There was nothing that was stolen. There was nothing that was fraudulent. And so I'm sitting here like, baby, they got the documentation. And they have the audacity to say that the airplane tickets that were purchased were fraudulent. When I reach out to the airlines, they have every single passenger that matches all the information that was sent over from Disney. Baby, you think that people just gonna sit here and just give you their money back and they aren't gonna protect themselves?
So in the end, she tried to charge back every single transaction, including the flights. You don't think that there's going to be a million cameras watching every single footstep you took in the entire airport, along with the IDs and the possible passports? But no, that was fraudulent. It wasn't me. It is amazing people think that they could just get away with fraud this easily in this day and age. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. We have a series on this channel just talking about scams, but this is pretty bottom of the barrel scamming in my opinion. We can look at a couple of the comments. $13,000 at Disney. Disney is not worth $13K. That's a trip to Europe for me. She planned on doing it all along. That's what I thought too. She figured they would go on vacation, they couldn't afford it, claim fraud on her credit, and then boom, she thought she'd get away with it, so they went hard. I mean, yeah, all the reservations, the Dippin' Dots, all the crap she got. This isn't the 90s anymore. These scams don't work when you leave a digital footprint everywhere you go. That's what I was saying. And airlines and Disney are smarter than to fall for that trick. I mean, you think you're the first person to ever try to pull this off? I bet there are claims like this every single day. A very odd comment that I wanted to put in here from one of my older videos, $9,000 on vacation. Just talking about a previous clip we went over. How about $20,000 a month for Florida? And we can't even afford to eat in restaurants every day. So $9,000 on vacation is practically free. I don't know if they're talking about their cost of living. If they are, and they could barely survive on $20,000 a month, you can't even afford to eat out at restaurants every day. Maybe you need to change your lifestyle. Just a very jarring comment when I read it. But I do want to finish off this video with another classic on this channel. I bet you'd start seeing this on your For You page if you do go on vacation, and hopefully you don't go into debt for that trip, but if you take these people's advice and buy their courses, you'll be even further in the hole.
I have literally made $4,000 in less than a week, all while being on spring break vacation with my family. And that's not from TikTok Shop, that's not from any of my affiliate links, it's not from any brand collabs, it's all from one thing: digital marketing. If you've been waiting for a sign to start digital marketing, let this be it.
So digital marketing is a new buzzword for a lot of these gurus to sell you their courses, making it look like it's so easy to make a product online and a whole bunch of people will buy it for $100 or $1,000 each. It's so easy you could go on vacation and make $4,000. There are tons of these. There's another one saying that they made $20,000 while they were on a cruise. It just gets very tiring, but I know this will get pushed out to people through the algorithm because they're looking at all of our data online. So if you are on vacation, you'll probably see a whole bunch of these get rich quick schemes while you're just sitting on the beach. And I'll just be completely honest, it's not going to work. You're just going to end up losing more money. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.